All right, let's get right into it. We're going to move way beyond the blurry photos and the spooky campfire stories. Today, we are building a full-on biological profile of a creature straight out of folklore. We're giving it a scientific name, a hunting ground, and a very, very specific predatory toolkit.
You know, we all think we know the story of the big, hairy humanoid lurking in the North American forests. But what if that popular image of a shy, reclusive giant is, well, incomplete? What if it's actually masking a far more specialized and, frankly, formidable creature?
You've definitely heard the stories around the campfire. You've seen those grainy old photos, and you for sure know the name, Sasquatch. That mysterious ape-man, always just out of sight.
But that's just it. We're going to move past the general folklore now to profile a very specific and much more dangerous variant of this creature.
Okay, so let's dive in. Before we can really understand the specialist, we need to do a quick recap of the generalist. I mean, what does the classic legend actually tell us?
So, eyewitness accounts pretty consistently describe a massive bipedal primate. It's built for power, it's covered in this coarse hair, and it's an absolute master of staying hidden in remote forests. Its main calling cards? Those terrifying screams and the super eerie sound of tree knocking. This is the Bigfoot of popular culture, the one we all know.
But, to truly analyze any creature, even a hypothetical one, we have to move from just stories to actual structure. We need to classify it.
Now, this classification is just fascinating because it places Sasquatch firmly within the animal kingdom. And get this, right alongside us in the hominid family. Speculative biologists have even given it a genus and species, Anthropoidipes ameriborialis. This framework is what lets us talk about its biology in a much more detailed and structured way.
But we're not stopping there. We're going one step further down that classification ladder. Because within this species, there's a subspecies, one that's defined not by its shyness, but by its aggression.
So, meet the star of our explainer, the Venator Sasquatch. The name really says it all. Venator is Latin for hunter. This isn't just some elusive omnivore. This is an apex predator, and it is built for the chase. So what makes this subspecies such an effective hunter? Well, it's this incredible combination of unbelievable stealth and just overwhelming power. Let's break down its offensive and its defensive capabilities.
The Venator uses this amazing dual strategy. On the one hand, it's a total ghost, using stealth, darkness, and psychological warfare like screams and tree knocking to defend itself and confuse its prey. But on the other hand, it's an absolute powerhouse, using ambush tactics, brute strength, and even using projectiles.
I mean, really think about this toolkit for a second. It can move through dry brush without making a sound. It can reportedly throw huge rocks with enough accuracy to stun a deer. And its physical power is just immense, capable of taking down large game like wild hogs. This is an intelligent, highly adapted predator. But where does a predator like this even hunt? A specialized hunter needs a very specific environment and a reliable food source to thrive.
While we often think of Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest, the Venator's prime habitat is actually the dense, rugged terrain of the Ozark and Ouachita Mountains. That mix of oak and pine forest provides perfect, year-round cover for its ambush-style hunting.
So what is it hunting? Well, its diet is overwhelmingly carnivorous. The sources suggest big game like deer and elk make up most of its caloric intake, supplemented by wild hogs and pretty much whatever else it can catch. This is the kind of fuel you need for an active, predatory lifestyle. And this observation from Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum adds a really crucial piece to the puzzle. He points out that it's not just about strength, it's about anatomy. The Venator's powerful jaws and specialized teeth would let it process a huge variety of foods, from tough animal hides to hard-shelled nuts, giving it a clear advantage over competitors like bears. So this brings up a pretty critical question. How does a large, slow-to-mature apex predator maintain its population? The answer seems to be in its reproductive strategy and its social structure.
The Venator is what biologists call a case-selected species. Think humans or elephants. They reproduce very, very slowly, having only a single infant every 4 to 5 years. This means they invest a massive amount of time and energy into raising that one single offspring, forming these small family units where the young are protected and taught the complex skills needed to survive, and of course to hunt.
And that brings us to our final thought here.
We've just profiled a creature of immense power, intelligence, and predatory skill, a creature that is a master of its environment and somehow remains completely hidden from us. So you have to ask yourself, is its elusiveness a sign of fear, or is it the quiet confidence of an apex predator that knows it's at the top of the food chain? Definitely something to think about.